You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of New Jersey After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of New Jersey After Show.
Hey guys, guess what? Bing is for doing. And if you're tuning in right now, this is the AfterBuzz TV recap for The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yeah.
And before I get to introducing my lovely co-host today, I just want to remind you guys to go on iTunes, leave your comments, tell your friends, tell your brother, tell your wife, tell your kids.
Tell your mom.
Yeah, and tell everybody. Tweet us, call in. You can call us at 424-256-1729. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my lovely co-host. So let's go around the room.
To her left is Adrienne Vairo. Adrienne.
And where can people find you, Adrienne?
Adrienne_Vairo is my Twitter handle.
All right.
I'm Susan Hahn, and you can find me at It's Susan Hahn, ITSSUSANHAHN.
Way to spell.
Hey everyone, I'm Giselle Ugarte, and you can find me at Giselle Ugarte, GISELLEUGARTE on Twitter and sprintinginstilettos.com.
Damn, girl. And finally, you can find me at GoToGirlTV.com or check me out at www.gotogirltv.com. All right, so this was a juicy episode.
Juicy. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Can I just say, last week, didn't I predict that Ashlee was not going to go to Vegas?
Yes.
So
and
thank you.
we're
for
going to
that
get
one.
to that really quickly.
Yes.
I think one of the big themes of this episode was parenting, because we saw a lot of relationships, Ashlee and...
Or the lack thereof.
Or exactly. We saw Ashlee and her mom. We saw Melissa and Joe and their kids, and Teresa and her kids. So, let's start off with the obvious elephant in the room, Ashlee and Jacqueline.
Ashlee.
So, your prediction, you were right.
Are you saying she looks like an elephant? Is that what's happening?
Ronnie!
That's
Don't put words in her mouth.
No. Ashlee does not look like an elephant. She is cute. No. Don't do that.
We'll call her the little pink bunny in the room. How about
the
that?
little pink bunny, the little blonde bunny in the room. But I don't know, last week, we saw where, Dad said, look, it's time for you to get out.
Yeah.
You can't be here anymore. And
If people were just tuning into this episode, they would be like, oh my gosh, these parents are so mean. But if you know the whole background story, you know that Ashlee needs this and deserves it. Chris, the dad, he was saying, no, she got a one-way ticket and she is not coming back till she gets her crap together.
She's 20 years old, and she doesn't know how to board a plane.
I know.
But you
I
have to think about it though. I'm not saying that she was in the right. It was pretty bratty what she did. But if I was in her position,
you would probably find your way to the gate.
I wouldn't want to go if I really didn't want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Granted, we don't know the whole story of what is it that's there, and she was going to Vegas, right?
So wait, are you saying she missed it on purpose because she kind of didn't want to leave?
I'm not saying
Is that
that
what you're
she
saying?
missed it on purpose, but I'm saying that if I was in her position, I would probably not do my best to try to find it.
Yeah, did she miss it? And I don't know if she really missed it on
Of
purpose.
course she missed it on purpose.
And if she was tweeting
wasn't
the whole
gonna
time,
I think she wasn't. Yeah, she definitely wasn't trying to get to there on time. She
and
was
if she was flying as it
And
is,
she was worried
True.
about, I don't even know what outfits I packed. I mean, sweetie, your family is telling you to get out of here. I
Yeah.
don't think the outfit's really that big of a priority right now.
I know.
That girl had no intention of getting on that flight.
I know, but she has to do it at some point. I mean,
well,
I
you
guess
never know.
That's when she
Daddy's
was-
little girl. I know I can get my way. So
Yeah, so she was
Well,
hoping to
that's
come.
Daddy's little grown-ass woman now.
I know.
Yeah,
together.
20 years
Seriously,
old.
Get
Well,
it together.
You can tell everyone was frustrated. Albie was
Yeah.
like, really, dude? Really? He was not having
Especially
it.
when he came back to the house and was
Oh,
like,
man.
oh, she didn't make it.
But he knew it. He knew it. You know what I mean? He actually tweeted. He was like, Ashlee and I had a really interesting conversation in the car. Like, well, what did you guys talk about? Because apparently it was not priority driven at all.
No,
I don't think she was taking anything of it. I don't think she thought that she was actually seriously going to have to go.
Yeah.
Well, that's been the premise of basically her whole time on the show. Is she never takes anything seriously.
Right.
You know,
She
what her
doesn't.
parents tell her.
There's no repercussions to any of her actions, and obviously you can see it in Jacqueline's eyes. Like, what mother wants to send her child away? But
I know.
this girl needs an ass whipping, or she needs something.
Ashley needed to be raised by black parents.
Well, apparently it did some good because it sounds like Jacqueline and Caroline were saying that their relationship's better than ever now.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
so. And when you can tell Jacqueline's
It'll be
yearning
exciting
for
to see
that.
how it
She wants
unravels.
it. She was crying about. I mean, she still loves her, which is why it's tough love. She has to send her away. She has to get her crap together.
Right. Did you guys watch What Happens Live? Andy Cohen right after the show. Did you watch that at all?
Jacqueline and Kelly Osbourne.
Well, Jacqueline and Kelly Osbourne were on there, and Jacqueline was telling us what we didn't see was the fact that there was a big goodbye, there was cries, there were hugs. So it wasn't. They edited that a lot,
Yeah,
so
of
we didn't
course.
see that. And she said that their relationship is much better. And she also said that she was only in Vegas for 2 weeks, and then to learn some kind of computer training or something like that.
What?
And then she went off to Minnesota.
She's living here
or
now.
something, to start school, Texas or something. So we didn't get the whole full picture. Is the point? So.
Well, Jacqueline mentioned that she's depressed and she's on Xanax. I mean, 20 years old and being depressed and being on Xanax. I mean,
What does she have to be depressed about? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I don't know, but that's she's scared of riding in elevators. She's afraid of heights,
Right.
And she says she's never had these fears before. And I mean, definitely something is going on in her head.
It's a
because-
transitional period in your life, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess she hasn't really ever been away from home, but I mean, for me, I know when I went to college, I moved all the way from Minnesota to LA. Kind of a little bit of a change, people, It was
Right.
scary.
And you were
I moved to
18.
New York when
And
I was
she clearly doesn't know
21.
what she wants to do. I'd be a little nervous even for myself if I'm 20 years old and I don't know where I'm going or what I want to do with my life. There's nothing that's really pulling my passion.
Getting drunk and coming home at like 5 a.m. and sleeping your life away.
Oh no,
that's
I agree with that.
definitely-
Yeah.
But it's clearly
needs
in
some kind of
reaction to the fact
direction.
that she's scared of something. She's running
So,
from something, doesn't want to acknowledge
Where
something.
where did they send her? I mean, this
Vegas.
is
Well, basically, they sent her to stay with Jacqueline's brother and his wife
In
for a couple
Vegas.
weeks in Vegas, in Las Vegas. Which I don't know if that's the best idea. Like, are they on the strip?
Well,
Are
she's
they
not
off the strip?
21.
Like,
She's not
Exactly.
21.
Okay.
So.
Well, it doesn't really
Doesn't,
matter.
you don't need
know
to
what I
be
mean?
21 to dance.
But
Well, luckily, Ashlee isn't necessarily the prime example of the perfect, upbringing. But there are, it seems like things are working out for her, and there are kids on the show that are really very mature.
Right.
Even little Gia is
Oh
like.
my gosh.
Great segue,
Yeah,
Giselle.
good segue.
It's a good segue on our parenting theme. So next, let's talk about
Joe Giudice, please.
Joe Giudice and Teresa and their kids. Like, we're seeing little Gia. She's growing up. She was like taking care of the baby.
She is a
and
doll.
She's
so
playing the
cute.
daddy. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, but she kind of is.
Yeah,
Yes.
she really, and she's just getting at that age where, like, I have a niece like around the same age where she's just like, remember like last week they were in the car and she's like, "Daddy, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
ladies,
Right.
dad.
Ladies."
Like,
Yeah, so she's
Well, even when the little
she's
baby
smart.
Adriana
Adriana.
was bleeding, I mean,
Yeah.
it was Gia the one that was, covering up her
Yeah.
Well,
boob.
Joe's like, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine. And it's like,
Yeah.
Shut up.
okay, but I honestly, I know you guys were like, mortified, but I think it's like absolutely, I think it's hilarious the way he says it. It's not right, but for TV, I'm like, is this really happening right now? Like, is he really telling his own kids to shut up?
None of your
Like,
business.
He kinda is.
he really is, and
he
it's absolutely insane to me. And then I'm like, no wonder Melania is the way she is. That little
Yeah.
girl is so
Yeah,
funny.
she's-
And then when he had the pink thing, he's like, what am I staring with this pink?
I know, but it's pink thing.
And
Yeah,
he's like,
it's
because you're a
special.
girl. Her little comments get me every
Those
time.
girls are so adorable.
I think Joe was
So
just bitter
adorable.
that he never had a boy out of all four of those girls.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think he wanted a boy, somewhere in there, a little little Goomba Jr.
Definitely.
and he didn't get it.
It's
Yeah.
always so much
So-
chaos at the house. The guys even said at the Manzos when they went over, it's like, you got, someone kicking me in the nuts over here. You got this.
you get dinner, but you get dinner served with,
A price.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's so, but that's why I could watch them all day, and I think Joe's reaction is so humorous. It's so entertaining. I know it's not right, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Do you think, their kids, especially the little ones, are they learning from their parents to be more assertive and outspoken, or are they perhaps falling into patterns of not communicating and dealing with issues very well? Because the
Good
fact that they're all,
question.
well,
Or
particularly the younger ones,
Yeah.
but I mean, this is also let's face it, the Real Housewives of New Jersey are not the only dramatic ones. The Orange
Right.
County ones are crazy, and they have a
Right.
lot more little kids on that show. Do you think by watching their parents, they're gossiping, talking behind each other's backs, confronting each other in public?
I certainly don't think it helps, and the fact that they're in the spotlight and, they're magazines and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it helps. I think only time is going to tell, like, what they become.
Right.
And I think you see it too, because Gia was saying, Teresa told Joe, Gia's seeing the magazines. She's seeing it. She's asking me now. She's aware. But that you can see how it all plays out, because she takes on the mother role, which we said about Audrey taking care of Adriana.
Remember that song she sang last season?
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
that
for her
song?
uncle, Joey.
For their relationship.
Yes.
So they definitely get it. They see it. It's just, a matter of time.
I mean, 10-year-old little girls nowadays is, it's not what we were 10-year-olds.
No.
Back in our days,
Not
you know
at
what
all.
I mean? Like with the internet,
They
with
have-
social
they have
media,
phones.
there's so much
Yeah,
access
like who
to
had the
everything.
iPod
Yeah,
Touch?
iPod
She's
Touch.
like, "What
Exactly.
I'm like, iPod
Where's
Touch,
my
you
iPod
kidding
Touch,
me?
you stupid
$300.
Exactly.
I'm
was the
sure
best
they have
line
Twitters.
ever. Gia does have Twitter.
Oh, there you go.
True Gia.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What did Melania say? You're not a cooker, you're a hooker.
Yes. Her one-liners, I'm telling you, this girl needs her own show.
Yes, she does.
She
She
needs
is
her own show.
yeah.
I could watch them. I could watch
She's a
them interact.
riot.
And then the
She's a
whole thing.
riot.
I know this was last episode, but they were the mice ate through the
The
tarp.
tarp. Yeah, the tarp.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
so
That was
funny. That everyone's
hilarious.
screaming. That's just like, that is the epitome of that family. Like that's who
Exactly,
they
yeah.
are and what they are.
Chaos.
Yes.
It's also who I
Chaos.
want to see grow up. I want to see what Joey Wakili is going to be like.
Oh,
in
that
a couple
boy
years.
is gonna
Giselle.
be fine-looking little
Another
kid.
good segue, Giselle. Let's talk about the Wakilis. Like, are they not the epitome of like the best parents ever? Like they're so,
so
cute.
cute.
The relationship
So
they have
adorable.
with both of them, it's so open. They can talk to them about sex and drinking and all that kind of
Girls,
stuff. And
nude
like,
photos.
yeah.
I know they're great with their kids. They're great with each
awesome.
other. Like
Yes.
he still thinks
Awesome.
she's the most beautiful woman in
Yes.
the world. That's what he
love
said
it.
last episode.
He's looking good too.
Actually,
Yes.
yeah. I know. I didn't want to go
Go,
there.
Richie.
Go there. I'm gonna go there.
Yes, I kind of am crushing on.
crushing on
Yes,
Rich?
I don't know what it is. It's like that dirty, like.
It's not dirty,
They call him the Lebanese, Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, I don't know.
Don't you see
Yes.
it? Kind of.
I think he's
His
way more
person-
attractive than Jeff Goldblum, though. I can see the resemblance, but
Yeah.
like,
I love Jeff Goldblum. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it could be
there
it.
you go.
But he's such a man. Like he loves
Yeah.
his wife.
Yes,
you know?
that's so sweet, And then his relationship with Joey when he took him around under his wing,
Yeah.
Oh, I
that
love
was
that.
we
precious.
talked about the nude picture.
The new picture. Now,
You have 3 years. Call him
Who
in
is
when
this
you're 18.
crazy woman tweeting a naked picture to what, a 15-year-old?
I want to know how
Like,
old she is. They didn't even say.
I know.
It's not like they showed the picture of like, for all you know,
mean,
she's
a
like
little fast
hasn't even
girl.
gone
Trying
through
to-
puberty yet.
I don't know,
I
but
know.
that is like completely inappropriate.
Joey's hot. Don't get me wrong. For 15 years old, like
yeah,
if I was,
he's so
if I was in
cute.
what,
Little cutie
high school,
pants.
freshman year, whatever, however old he is, I would think he's cute. But like, come on now.
I know,
But
right?
you know what? He has a little swag. That kid has a
I
little
love his
swag.
voice.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got the
Yeah.
little raspy voice.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
love
fly
it.
dude. Come on.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
fly
he's got
dude.
it.
He definitely has
Go,
some
Joey.
swag.
Go, Joey. But I love the way that Kathy handled the situation, tweeting, the girl back, saying, you're a
Oh,
beautiful girl.
absolutely.
Why are you so like?
Yeah.
They're just great.
Absolutely.
And then,
Great.
oh my gosh, Rich was like, well, I would have said 3 years from now, give him a
Save that picture.
save that
Hold that
picture.
thought.
3 years from now. Hold that thought.
Oh my
And
goodness.
finally, we're on to Melissa and Joe's kids. And I thought it was really sweet. The fact that they're trying to leave their kids this legacy, like
Yeah.
each of them has a
Totally.
building, and so they don't have to struggle. I think they're setting really great examples despite all the animosity going
Yes,
back and
I
forth
agree.
with the family. I
Yes.
think they're
Yeah.
Hopefully there won't be
amazing.
any entitlement there, but
Yeah.
they work. I feel like they have a good balance of showing to be grateful for things, but also to
Absolutely.
work hard.
Yeah.
Obviously they indulge a little more than the average family, but I think that they have a sense of like humility and family, and you see
Yeah.
that love
I
with
mean, he's
them.
a hard
They're
worker.
growing on me. We were talking
Right.
earlier. Melissa
They're a
and
good
Joe.
team.
They're kind of growing on me as
Right.
the power couple.
You guys were kind of like anti at first. You guys weren't feeling them.
I really couldn't figure them out at
couldn't
first.
Okay, you didn't know if it was
Couldn't feel
genuine.
the love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what she was trying to do. First season, trying to promote
Right.
being a
She
singer.
shops a lot.
She
and
shops
stuff
a
like
lot.
that.
Very
Yeah.
label.
Yeah,
Right.
from the second
know?
I saw them, I actually did like her. For some reason, I felt the genuineness between the two. And then, now I think it's more than ever showing how committed she is. And, it's evident he's in love with her.
Yeah, they love
I
each
want her to
other.
get
head over
pregnant.
heels.
I know.
Again.
Well, as much as they
I think
go
she'd be
at
Another
it.
so
girl?
cute,
Another girl.
pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As much as
Or
I go at it.
as Joe would say, I have a lot of poison in me. That line kind of makes me want to throw up a little bit. I have to admit, that's a little.
I think it made her want to throw up too.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
if you
She's
say
like,
that again,
yeah.
ugh.
Well,
Just that-
speaking
I mean-
of poison, there's a perfume called Poison, and if you ever want to go shop for any perfume
Where
or
can you go
anything
for that?
else, you can go.
Tell us. Please tell.
Oh my God! So AfterBuzz TV has this amazing Amazon affiliate program. So if you're already going to go and shop and buy perfume or
50
purses,
Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey,
Yes, that's another
whatever you
show.
want to
That's
buy,
another show.
we ask that you go
Fabulicious.
to the Fabulicious, Teresa's cookbook. We ask that you
Or
check
Maria's
out.
book.
Or Maria's book.
Yeah.
Y'all
The
need to let me
Every
get
Girl's
this out. No, but we ask that you go to AfterBuzzTV.com and you click on the Amazon banner that's on there, and you make your purchases that way. And when you do that, AfterBuzz TV, we get a little kickback, and it keeps us on the air and keeps us bringing you lots of great shows and fun guests and all that kind of good stuff. So.
And it was actually a question that we got a lot, where a lot of the AfterBuzz fans, people on iTunes, they would be like, "Oh, we love what you guys do," and they do realize that a lot of people, other
Thank you very much.
other podcasts, they make you. Or just a lot of stuff on iTunes, there's a fee. We do
Yeah.
everything for free. So
It's free.
the studio,
free, y'all.
studio looks good. So if you want to help us out, like that's the way to help us
Yeah,
out. Click
it's
the
a great way to help
AfterBuzz
us
ban
out.
on AfterBuzzTV.com. Click the banner at the very top, and then make your Amazon purchases through that. Also, shout out to the chat room because they are watching you.
I was just gonna do a
Yay!
shout out to
Yay!
Adrienne at Watchtower Base. He is a huge fan.
Adrienne,
Thank you so much.
that's my name.
Yeah.
I like it.
Adrienne, call us if
Yeah,
you
call
want.
in, Adrienne. Here's your shout
I
out.
already like you. You got the same name as me.
So moving on, our next big topic is the poker game.
Yeah, dinner at Jacqueline's.
Dinner
First of all, those
at-
meatballs. Oh,
Yes.
my God.
I don't eat meat, but I think I would have
Everyone,
eaten
we all
that.
watch a
Yeah.
girl like,
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
True.
But
Like,
no,
true.
there was a lot going
Oh,
on.
that
There was a lot
poker
going on
game.
that
That
night.
made me want to do like weekly cooking recipes in the studio.
Well,
Yeah.
screw the cooking. I want to talk about, like, basically that was Teresa's moment where she was confronted by everybody.
hold on a second. She
Okay.
was not confronted.
good.
She confronted the room.
Okay,
yes,
this
yes,
is
she
true.
does.
Good point.
She
did.
overcompensated.
She did. But
Defensive before the
I
accusation.
just really wonder, first of all, like, when the fact that she thinks that the things that she said in her cookbook, all those digs, that she thinks that they're jokes, that
It's
they're
a funny.
What is?
It's just a
what is
funny.
wrong with
Okay,
her?
okay.
How is that funny? You're attacking people. I don't understand.
I know I mentioned last week that I don't hate her, and I still don't hate her yet. I mean, I'm still
Hate's a strong
trying to exactly. I'm still trying to see this unfold before, I switch teams. But like Giselle just mentioned, she's the one who confronted the rooms.
Yeah.
Everybody has something to say, but I mean, let's be adults. Confront her. The sister, the brother, the cousin.
One at a time, not in front of the whole room.
Exactly, but
Right.
confront her.
Yes.
It's just like, obviously, she feels that people are talking about her.
Well, they were.
And they have so
They had
much to
every right.
say.
Yeah.
Okay, but
And I
then
think
bring
we
it
can-
out on the table.
Right, and I think we can all agree that even if it wasn't intentional, give her the complete benefit of the doubt. Say, people did get hurt by it, and not just one, a lot did.
Yeah.
So you still owe it to somebody to say, "Oh wow, like I actually did hurt your feelings."
You have to acknowledge
So at least the
their
acknowledgement,
feelings.
whether or not
Yeah.
it was intentional, it needs to be
Exactly.
acknowledged,
And she
it
didn't do that.
wasn't.
Well, and here's the thing is, I really like Teresa too. I'm starting to like her, especially from Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I kind of forgot about all this drama
Yes.
when the season wasn't running. But, it's funny because she wrote this blog called Teresa's Apology Tour, and she's saying how she's apologizing to everyone. I don't really remember her actually saying sorry.
It's all
I feel like
self-serving.
instead of saying sorry, I hurt you, it's more like, well, sorry that you took it that way,
Yes.
but it's not whatever.
That's not an
And it's fine.
apology.
You can just say,
But-
even if you didn't mean it a certain way, I'm really sorry that hurt your feelings. I could have worded it differently, but unfortunately, it's too late. Like, let's move on
Okay,
from
but
this.
that's not in Teresa's dictionary.
Right.
That's just not how she speaks, and she's like that to everybody. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the stubborn Italian.
I mean, she's just and seeing her on Celebrity Apprentice, I became even a bigger fan of hers. But that's okay. To us, it's obvious that it's not a joke when she's taking digs
Right.
at her sister-in-law or her brother or her cousin or whatever. However, that's her personality. She's not the brightest.
Yeah.
I get it,
She's
but
not
that's her
playing like that.
personality. And does that make it okay?
No, it doesn't
Right,
make
it
it
doesn't.
okay. But for her, I think genuinely, she's just like, It's funny to me, so it's funny.
Ha ha, it must be funny.
Yes, but I don't think she's doing it maliciously. I think that's just her personality. She's just very...
I don't know. She's going to lose a lot of friends and family due to her personality.
Well,
That's all I
Caroline
gotta
says
say.
that she's not. I'm pretty sure she said that they're still not speaking.
Yeah.
You know,
Caroline's like the
they're
true.
not
She
speaking.
I love
that.
Caroline.
That hurt goes deep with her. You know,
Mama Manzo.
Yeah, and especially when somebody attacks your ethnicity like that. I mean, saying you're like the Olive Garden,
Yeah.
that is like, I'm sorry, I take offense to that. I'm Italian, and I take offense to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I don't
it's
lie.
rude.
If someone said that to me, like, granted, I'm not Italian, but I'd be like, hey, we're family. You know, like, when you're here, you're I would just take it as a joke and wipe
See,
it
like
off.
when that's
but,
like
you know,
published, it's just kind of
Yeah,
like
it's-
why?
right,
Because
it's
like
in
there,
print.
it's not. That's not funny.
That
Like, it's
book
not
is
funny.
in print and it's going to live forever.
That's
Those
true.
words are going to live forever. She can't take those back.
Especially since they're
And
so
to her
proud of
kids.
being
Yeah.
Italian too, you know, to then throw that jab, it's just kind of like weird. But even, I mean, besides that whole thing, the Chris Manzo thing, which is funny because I actually saw on Twitter, this is interesting, that people were saying that Teresa, about the whole comment about her making fun of Melania. Do you remember when Chris said she's like a terrorist? Do you remember that part? That was kind of buzzing. Teresa
right.
retweeted that. Okay, when they walked in, she's like, "Oh, Melania's a little terrorist." Okay,
Oh.
so Chris said that. Chris Manzo walking into
Right.
the Giudice home, and on Twitter today, Teresa was retweeting a lot of comments about
Yes.
that in particular.
Oh.
But it's interesting because then, like, you know, she also said the thing about.
Well, did he say
Chris
that
and,
she
like-
was a terrorist or that she was just like a terrorist?
Oh, I mean, it was
little...
so not intense.
Yeah, that was more of a
I took
funny.
that as
Yeah,
I took that as Chris
exactly.
Manzo. I took that as totally Chris Manzo
Yeah.
being funny, saying something about how she's like such a little terror,
Yeah.
not terrorist. And I think that's how he meant it. But I think some people on Twitter also said that it was
That's taking it too far.
Yeah.
Come on. You're
Come
talking
on.
about a child.
Well, and for her to
Like-
jump
you
on that
think that
train
was
and be
rude
like,
of him to
well,
say. You think that was rude of him to say?
No, I don't think it was rude. I just think for anybody to think that that's rude is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
clearly
saying.
a joking
Seriously,
manner.
yeah.
And it's not
Something
in
out
writing.
of
You actually
nothing.
hear him say it. So you can hear the laughter with it. And you can hear the context that it was
I mean,
in.
those
Right.
Manzo brothers are so cute. They're
witty.
honestly
They're
say
very witty.
whatever they
Yeah.
want.
Giselle has a
Albie, call me.
crush. Albie, you need to
Get them
call
here.
Giselle.
Yes.
I'm single, 22, professional housewife in training.
Yeah.
Professional because I will generate my own shopping allowance, but I will also rule the house, the kitchen, the bedroom. Yes.
Albie.
Hey, Albie. Oh, Albie.
Albie and Chris Albie.
I'll take Albie.
Albie,
and Chris.
Albie, Chloe, Albie.
Albie.
Susan Hahn, you are married, girl.
And
We have one
sure you wanna be a
housewife
real
at this
housewife?
table.
Exactly. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
if
you.
I'm professional, I'd still have a job.
All right, so let's talk about the poker game and the guys. So that
The,
was like
accident?
Yeah, that was an opportunity for well. First off, I think Joe Giudice is like full of ego, full of himself.
What?
We've all
What
been
do you
talking
mean?
about
Where
it.
did you get that? God has
I've
the
got
biggest
my
brain,
yeah,
and
my
then he
brain
has the
is next
second?
exactly
Next
like
to God's?
exactly next to God's next to God. Like how ridiculous is
I
that?
liked the when he was
know?
lifting weights like 1,001. They totally gave him one of those moments where he's just like in the bedroom,
Yep.
like with his
I just
like
love
tube
that he
socks
doesn't
on.
have a driver's license and he
I
can't
know,
drive.
and
then
he
tried
he tried to get a fake one or something. Who does that?
Oh man, I like
and
this
you've
guy.
got
This guy's
kids,
entertaining.
You know,
Yeah,
like
for real.
And then, do you really think it was an accident between him and Richie? Like
Yeah,
Richie's story about how he got the black eye.
I do. They didn't show it. Is that the whole like kind of Jersey Shore Snooki kind of why they didn't show it fight to they're not allowed to show it?
Well, they
don't
didn't hit a
know.
woman.
Yeah, I know,
so-
I know, right? So why didn't they show it? They had
don't
cameras
know.
down there.
That's
weird, right?
What was it? He accidentally hit a.
They were wrestling. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he grabbed his
wrestling.
nuts.
I was gonna say they did mention something about some
So
cusping.
Joe went to go grab Rich's nuts and said they were pebbles. They were
They were
basically
pebbles,
non-existent.
exactly.
Right.
Which I'm sure, first off, any guy's gonna get their nuts grabbed, like they're gonna have a reaction. Okay.
Exactly.
So I think that's how that went down. But I don't think it was a punch to the eye. I do think they probably got into it and wrestled. Guys do that. Guys, they like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, those
At
guys
that
are
age?
But
I know.
Right.
I know.
I feel like someone would like break a hip or
perfect
something.
Black eye. But it's a perfect black eye. So it's
Like maybe like an elbow to the. I mean, who knows? You think either?
I don't know.
Maybe it was an elbow.
I don't know, but all
You
I
have to
know
hit
is
pretty
that
hard for a black eye.
is that Richie really seems to have it out for him. You know,
Yeah.
like just
I think
His
Richie's
rants.
like, I'm not gonna take any of your crap anymore.
yeah.
I think maybe
Accident.
it's one of those like where it was like an accident when it happened, but like he kind of giggled
Oh,
afterwards.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
wink, wink. Oops. Yeah. But the one thing I will say is that, I mean, just like, you know, a normal man, you know, they come together, they play their poker, they're able to like, you know, leave the BS, you know, that the women are talking about, and somehow they're able to just, you know, come
Let it-
together as
yeah.
men and, you know, have that like bro kind of, relationship with each other. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I liked seeing that too. I like seeing how the women. I mean, it would be nice if they all got along because just having their girl time with their wine and the food and everything.
But if they all got along, they wouldn't be on Bravo.
Yeah,
I know.
And it wouldn't be
Real Housewives. Yeah, and it wouldn't be interesting. But I think with this whole thing with Teresa, I don't think that it's going to help the relationships with any of the women at this point. I think it's really bad. I think it's going to get worse. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think if they keep doing the whole denial, we're not in the wrong, we're not, this, we have this going on, I'm the best at this. Like, it's just not a good relationship. And for her to put down over and over and over again her friends for the same things, like, I don't understand her whole thing with Melissa copying her.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the most, flattering sense
She's got the most
compliments?
contentious relationship with her sister-in-law. Like, and I don't understand that. Like, it's just like they're oil and water.
She's younger,
Melissa's hot. Melissa is
jealous?
hot.
But
She's
it's
got
still your
confidence.
brother,
Yeah, I mean, and she'd want the best for her brother, and the fact, the things that she even said last week, the fact that she'd leave you for, a richer man. It's just.
I mean, not necessarily. I'm married, and my sister-in-law was a little cuckoo in the beginning, and sometimes it's just maybe having your brother and your sister is just you guys your whole life, and then getting married off to another woman. I don't know. Maybe it could affect.
Yeah, I know. I definitely
what I
see how throwing something into the mix. I mean, of course, it's any new relationship, it might cause a little drama, and not even wanting to. At this point, though, I don't know if people still think it's one or the other, but I do think it's Teresa. Melissa's trying. She no matter what, Melissa is there for Joe.
I don't think
Melissa loves
Melissa's
Joe.
trying. I just don't think Melissa's stirring up anything.
No,
But
she's
Melissa's
not stirring
not
up
trying.
anything.
She's definitely not going out of her way.
Which would you?
to-
I wouldn't want to. At this point, are you kidding me? I would be like, oh, Teresa, it's hard, she's doing all the right things. She loves her brother.
But if it really bothers her, I think she should confront her sister-in-law, and she should just be like, why would you say something like this? It's just kind of like they're grouping
She did that
together.
little,
She does.
And they're commiserating together, and they should just bring it up with Teresa and just
She
get it
did
over with.
in front of everyone. She was like, "Hey, I mean, if
We'll
it's
take
for a
one
little
for
extra
the
money,
team."
we'll take one for the team."
I love that comment.
Which I don't know if it was necessarily the appropriate time, but I think
But it
everyone
was
was kind
true.
of going air high five.
Yeah, definitely. No one was
Yeah.
stopping her from saying that.
It's true though, and she's right. I guess we'll just take this one for the team, so you can make your money. We know you guys are having. It was a dig, obviously. We know you guys are having financial problems, so we'll just sit this one out just so you can pay your bills.
I think they're super patient with her, with
Very.
Teresa. I don't even know if I could have that patience. I give them all a lot of credit because they do have all a good camaraderie together, and even the fact that the guy's still like Joe Giudice, they don't hate this couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, they're patient with her, but I hate how Joe is such a girl and that he will constantly keep bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing up and beating the dead horse behind her back over and over and over and over again. And it's if you guys are really brother and sister, why can't you just talk? It took so much effort last season for them to just sit down and have a conversation. And when they do, it's just
'Cause I think
they
Joe
keep
likes
on
to
digging and
drama
digging and
too.
digging. I mean, maybe that's what
you
it
think
is.
the
but
husband likes you.
Giudice?
Her brother likes to drama
the
too.
brother.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think
because if you really analyze the show, he's always he always brings it up. He's the one who brings it up. He's the one who tells everybody, "Did you know what my sister said?" I'm not going to say what she said, but
yeah.
and it's just
Well,
your
you
guy,
have to.
just shut up,
I mean, I also think too is that his relationship with her husband, that's not a good situation. So I
Joe
think that's
Giudice.
yeah. I mean,
God, he needs to
the two
take
Joes.
some manner 101 classes.
Yeah.
They need to learn from
So-
Caroline.
Yeah.
She's someone who she has the stone cold face when you're
She needs
there.
to write an
but she'll
etiquette
bring
book.
it up. She has her Caroline rules. I think she has a column now too.
Oh.
is that etiquette? Well, okay.
Well, no, but I mean, it's
Etiquette, I guess,
everything,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Mama
Caroline.
Manzo.
Mama Manzo. All right, guys, we're gonna go to a commercial, and when we come back, more buzz about the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
The song? Oh.
And we're back.
And we are back. Hello. So before we, dig into some news and gossip and all that fun stuff, let's talk about Melissa's song. How sweet was that?
I like it.
I was
guilty?
kind of
nice?
waiting for it to fail, but I kind of like it.
I liked it too.
I liked.
On display.
Well, okay, no, see, I didn't like that one.
I almost threw up and I don't even do that.
I liked the soul, the love
Yeah.
behind
It
it.
went number
and I
5 on
loved
iTunes.
Joe's reaction
Really?
Yeah, it
to
did. It did really well on iTunes.
Melissa and
Next
Joe
door.
were trending on Twitter last night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
into the early morning.
I have a question. Out of all the Housewives stars, I guess you call them reality stars, like there's been a lot of them that have done songs. How does this is Melissa that put out a new song?
Melissa
I mean,
Gorga.
it didn't
How-
know
how does her
tardy for the party, but
Is that Kim Zolciak?
Kim Zolciak, yeah.
Okay. Man, I don't know. I don't know how the other ones have done. I would never listen to Kim Zolciak. Just
well, that I
But Melissa, that was catchy when she was singing in the studio. She sounded really good.
Yeah.
She
She
did.
did sound good.
And on display, I
though,
wasn't a fan of, so I can.
Kim's song went. I think it went number 1 or number
Did
2,
it?
right?
I'm
on iTunes.
sure.
Oh wow. See, I don't
Yeah.
know.
You know what would be really
sure.
cool is if Candy Burrs from the Housewives of Atlanta would work
love
with Melissa
Candy.
Gorga. How cool would that be?
Oh, I'm
I
sure
think
that
Candy
I'm sure
learned
Bravo
her
Andy put it
lesson
in the
not
talk.
to work.
Make
with,
that happen.
I think Candy learned her lesson not to work with,
Other housewives,
other
or just
housewives.
mixing the friendship and the business.
Yes.
I think that was the bigger thing.
I think the difference is that, I think like Kim had this whole idea of wanting to be like this pop star and then didn't really realize all the work that goes into it. And I know who was one
And
from
she
New
couldn't
York.
sing?
And
Well, that
Oh,
too.
the Duchess.
That
Duchess?
too.
Oh,
the Countess.
Countess.
It's something
Oh,
where
see,
it's
I don't.
like,
I don't watch New York one.
but I
You
think
can tell.
Melissa,
The Countess.
she has this professional
Money
studio.
can't
She knows
buy you
that being a mom needs to be her number one thing.
Yeah.
And so it's not like she's doing it to try to get the fame or the money or the pop stardom. I think she's doing it because she really truly loves to sing and she's
Melissa
always
said
wanted
that.
people to hear her voice.
Melissa
And I
did
think
say that,
Melissa,
yeah.
yeah. I know that she had I didn't watch all of it, but they had that little Bravo party reunion with all the housewives and all the reality stars, and I guess she performed with all these backup dancers.
no way.
Which I thought was like a little like what? But I mean, you have to admire someone who's really putting herself out there and on display.
on display.
Well,
I mean,
this
you
one's
can't hate on her.
No,
I mean,
no,
you
no, I'm not
really
hating
can't.
on
She
her,
went number
no.
5 on iTunes.
No.
Speaking of iTunes, comment on the show.
yeah.
Nice.
subscribe. Yeah.
Yes. Tell your friends.
It's all
make your
free.
comments. It's all free. Don't forget to tweet and tell everybody. All right. What's next?
Well, can we just?
TV news.
Oh. Here
All
we go.
right, so we got a little news and gossip. And speaking of gossip, well, we've got a couple Us Weekly,
Reliable periodicals.
very reliable sources, you guys. So,
Well, if Beyonce's on the cover, then yes.
oh
It's-
yeah, if
it's-
Beyonce's on the cover, then it's got to be true. So this is like the main story in Us Weekly. It's Teresa's devious new attacks, and I was reading this earlier, and one thing that I was surprised to read, and who knows if it's true or if it isn't, is that we've all heard that Caroline and her sister Dina Manzo have been on the out since last season. And apparently, Dina and Teresa are friends. Now, what I just learned from this article, and I don't know if it's true, is that Dina is going to be making a return to the show.
Really? Well, wait,
be
I saw it. I
Yeah.
saw that. In,
Dina's going to be coming
was
back,
that?
and Caroline is
As a cast member or just making an appearance?
I don't know.
Well, she definitely
I'm
makes an
not sure.
appearance
I don't know.
because we saw it. We saw it
On
on
a
like
preview,
on a
right?
preview. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dina's going to be coming back, and of course, this burns Caroline up because their relationship still hasn't been mended.
Yeah.
And basically, it's Teresa trying to, just stick the knife in a little bit,
Yep.
which I don't think is a good idea. So that's That's some juiciness.
That's bringing in family. Like that's the blood.
I know. That's some
not
real.
cool.
That's some real
That's
stuff.
See, that's
Stirring
unforgivable.
up the pot.
That's unforgivable.
Yeah,
when you
stirring
bring
up
the
the
sister
pot.
involved, when you know that they're in a fight, and Teresa's getting in the middle
When
of
did
that.
the fight start? I'm totally
I think
forgetting
season
about this.
two.
This was like last season, like towards the middle end. That's when the feud started.
Between Dina and
her sister.
Well,
Caroline?
Dina wasn't on. I mean, she only did one season.
Yeah.
So I think after that there was a little bit of awkwardness too when she dropped.
Right.
I mean,
she left the show mid-season.
Danielle.
large in part
Because of
due
Danielle
to
style.
Danielle.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then some more gossip is, of course, between Melissa and Teresa. And it says here that basically Teresa is trying to smear Melissa, which, no new news, and basically trying to call out that Melissa used to be a stripper. It's like,
But she was, so...
who cares?
Was
The
she?
woman is married
Yeah,
with
she
two
was.
kids.
Oh,
It says,
we see that in the preview that the guy comes up to her and says, "Oh, you used to dance for me."
But that doesn't mean, that it's necessarily true. He might be some
it
crazy
says,
guy.
wait. It says Melissa.
I'm sure I've done that to someone in Vegas
Melissa
before.
tended bar at Looker's Gentlemen's Club in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
And it's fine. Just keep it real.
Yeah,
It's just like, you had a pass. That's fine. Just own up.
Did she
to
dance
it.
or was she a bartender?
I mean, we don't know, but does it really matter? I mean, why did
I mean, that's kind of a big difference, though. Being a bartender and
but
versus
it's still
being a
digging
stripper?
up old dirt that's
But that's what
unnecessary.
you
Yeah.
sign up
It's
for,
irrelevant.
though. But that's what you sign up
True,
for. So be
I agree
ready
with you.
to
Yeah.
have all your skeletons, you
Yes,
know,
out
out
of
in
the
the
closet.
open. That's
And
part of
they're
it.
calling it Strippergate. That's funny. But
All the
basically,
news.
I mean, I think the common theme or common thread here is that Teresa's behind all of these feuds.
Are there any quotes from Teresa in there? Because I thought it was interesting how she mentioned that how she makes her money is being in the tabloids. So I'm wondering if that means that they're paying her to talk,
They
they're
made a
paying her
comment
to stir
about
the
that.
pot, or is it just that she likes the attention and then that's, giving more attention to her book?
Story sells.
Funny you say that because on Watch What Happens Live, Jacqueline Larita said that she's been trying to get in touch with Teresa. She's been trying to talk to her, men fences, but Teresa hasn't responded to her. The only response she made was via a magazine, which she gets paid for.
Oh.
So I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Very
so she's
interesting.
she's basically she's cut things off,
So
and
personal. What a personal response.
It's like, I ain't saying nothing to you
Flip
unless
to
it's,
page
it's in print and
25.
I'm getting paid. And then that's what she's doing. So, I mean, I don't know.
It's just so hard for me to see her in the Caroline thing. Caroline is like the most loyal person, and I see it, and like I feel for her. She had Teresa's back through the whole Danielle thing, all the craziness that Teresa has in her life. Caroline's been there, and like that was so like Caroline did not do anything to deserve this, as far as I'm concerned. So it's really
Or her kids, for that matter.
or her kids,
Yeah.
And so it really does bother me that now she's like, doing all this with Caroline. It's just not. I don't think it's fair, and I totally feel Caroline's pain.
I mean, well, this woman, Teresa's all over the place. She needs to take care of her family.
Yeah.
She's just trying to
she
make
is.
a dollar.
She's having to try to make all this money because
Because her husband doesn't have a license and can't drive himself to
Well,
work.
and he had all those other issues of potential
Yes.
alleged fraud and
Right.
Yeah. And
knows?
now there's a lot of rumors that their marriage is on the rocks. I mean, that's been rumored for a while. So, I don't know. What do we think is going to happen next week?
Well, I can't wait to see next week because what is going on with that party? That
Predictions. Well, I mean, we saw like in the previews, all the ladies had on the little bindi dots.
And
there
there's
must have
some
been
theme
some
party.
white
white party or something,
Yeah,
right?
something. So they're at some party.
alcohol will be involved.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Tables could be flipped.
And it looks like it looks like a Teresa and Melissa showdown.
I think
Yeah.
one of them's gonna get slapped in the face.
Yeah, Melissa stands up. She says something. What does she call? She says something where Teresa turns
And
around and is
Teresa
like,
says,
"Oh
"What'd you
hell
say?
no."
Can't fight.
Oh, yeah, they even show a picture. I don't know. Well, I don't know if we can show the picture, but
Oh. Can you play the other one?
On display, on display.
you know whose song I kind of like is the Countess from New York. Have you guys?
Which one is that
Wait,
one?
you like that
Elegance
one?
is love, my friend.
No, and she has
that one.
money
Money
can't buy you class.
Oh God.
Elegance is.
Do you know what they're talking about? Because I have no idea.
Oh my God! You guys don't watch Real Housewives of New York?
I can't. No, can't stand it.
Really? Oh my God! Well,
I'm a Jersey girl.
The Countess, she also did a song since we were
I
talking
mean, I love
about
Atlanta.
Housewives.
Yeah, I like
or-
Atlanta
or
a lot.
Jersey,
Yeah.
but,
like
I can't.
clearly,
love
Giselle
Atlanta.
and I are the only ones that paid attention to it. So,
I like the fashion.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the housewives have a little trouble in the wardrobe department and they
Yeah.
assume just because it's expensive or rhinestone, that it's cute, and then they end up looking like a big old mess. So I appreciate how most of the time, not all the time, the ladies on New York have really cute outfits, and so I like to see what they're wearing.
That's fashion capital. They better have their outfits pulled together.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a great show.
It's been real.
Let's tell everybody where, you got anything going on. Where can we find you?
Yes, sprintinginstilettos.com and mid-season on a show right now called Beauty Blogger Bootcamp on You Look Hot. You can find the link on my website. And tweet me at Giselle Ugarte.
Yay.
Miss Susan.
I'm Susan Hahn. I'm a makeup artist. I've been in beauty for over 10 years. I've done everything from New York Fashion Week to Cirque du Soleil. So if any of you guys have any spring, summer beauty tips and tricks, tweet me at It's Susan Hahn, ITSSUSANHAHN. And I'm also a Real Housewife, so if you have any Real Housewife questions, tweet me.
Yay. So you guys can follow me at Adrienne Vairo, and it's ADRIENNE_Vairo. Different than our fan, Adrienne. I'm sure he spells it IAN. Our guy fan. Shout out.
And then I am your go-to girl, Diona Vaughan. So if you guys need help with finding anything on a budget, it could be shopping, it could be how to fix your car, upholstery, whatever. Check out my website, gotogirltv.com.
And it's number 2.
And the number 2. And I'll have lots of fun webisodes to show you how to get that stuff done. All right, I think we're done, you guys.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.